In this lesson, we're going to learn how to multiply binomials. Now, you should be familiar with something called the distributive property. You may be familiar with the distributive property when multiplying something like 2x times x plus 4. So what we have here is one term that's being multiplied by two terms. One term is known as a monomial, and two terms are known as a binomial. And when we use the distributive property to multiply this, we need to do 2x multiplied by everything in the brackets. So 2x times x and 2x times 4. So 2x times x is 2x squared, and then 2x times 4 is a positive 8x. And there you have it. This expression here is our expanded expression of 2x times x plus 4. So now let's just use the distributive property when multiplying binomials. So here we have two terms multiplied by another two terms. That's just a binomial times a binomial. And using the distributive property, we just need to multiply everything in this first bracket by everything in this second bracket. So there is an acronym to help us remember and make sure that we multiply all of the correct terms together, and that's FOIL. So F stands for first, the O stands for outside, the I stands for inside, and the L stands for last. So what that means is we're going to multiply the first two terms in each bracket, and then we're going to multiply the two outside terms in each bracket, and then the two inside terms in each bracket, and then the two last terms in each bracket. So what does that actually look like? Our first two terms are just x multiplied by x. Our outside terms are x times 3. Our inside terms are 4 times x, and our last terms in each bracket are just 4 times 3. So now we can actually do that multiplication. X times x is just x squared. X times 3 is just 3x, and I'm putting this plus sign here because this term multiplied together is just positive. Now 4 times x is a positive 4x, so I'll just put plus 4x. And then 4 times 3 is a positive 12, so we're going to put plus 12. Now if there are any terms that we can collect, we're going to have to do that just to make this expression a little more simpler. There is no other term with an x squared, so we can keep that there. But there are two terms in the middle that have an x. So 3x and 4x are alike, and we can combine them. So 3x plus 4x is just equal to 7x, so we can put plus 7x. And there's no other constant number, so plus 12 will stay at the end. And that's it. This is the simplified expression that we get when we multiply this together. So whenever you have two terms multiplied by two terms like this, you might be asked to find the product, you might be asked to distribute or expand and simplify, but those are all asking for the same thing, and you can use this acronym to help you out to make sure you multiply all of the terms in this bracket by all of the terms in your second bracket, and once you do that, you'll get an expression that looks a little like this. So I want you to go ahead and distribute this one on your own. You are going to expand and simplify this expression right here, so pause the video and come back when you're ready to check your answer. So this is what I got when I used the distributive property to expand and simplify this expression. I got x squared plus 7x plus 10x. So there are some tips to help you out when you're doing this. Draw your arrows, your first, your outside, your inside, and your last, just to make sure you're multiplying the correct terms together. It's very easy to make little mistakes here, and you're never going to multiply the two terms that are in the same brackets together. But when you are multiplying two terms with another two terms, you will have 4 groups here of multiplication. So let's just do another one that involves some negatives here. So we're going to multiply x minus 3 times x minus 2. And remember, we have this acronym FOIL that will help us remember which terms we need to multiply. So f is our first two terms in each bracket. So that's just going to be x multiplied by x. O is our outside terms. So this is just an x multiplied by a negative 2 because there's a negative sign in front of the 2. I is our inside terms, and there is a negative in front of the 3, so it's going to be negative 3 times x. And finally, we have our last terms in each bracket. So that is just a negative 3 times a negative 2. And then we can actually do this multiplication. So x times x is just x squared. X times negative 2 is just negative 2x, so we're going to put minus 2x here. Negative 3 times x is just a negative 3x, and we'll put minus 3x. And negative 3 times negative 2 is just a positive 6, so we can put plus 6. So we're almost done here. We just need to collect our like terms in the middle. So x squared doesn't have like terms, so that's staying the same. But negative 2x minus 3x can be combined together, and that's just a negative 5x, so we can put minus 5x. And then don't forget about this plus 6 that we have at the end. So here we have our expanded expression of x minus 3 times x minus 2.